deserve to have the best physical, mental, spiritual, Zealous Wellness with Mike Hollis.
Oh, hey, welcome to another episode of Zealous Wellness. Sorry about that. I didn't hear any music of our beginning stages, but we're on, so we're live. Again, I'm getting used to this. This is my first podcast, not episode, of course, but I've done I don't know how many, maybe 20 or so far, but just getting the kinks worked out a little bit. But today, I want to talk. We talk about Zealous Wellness. We talk about your proactive wellness, your health, your fitness, mental. I talk about kicking a lot. I talk about systems. I talk about the mental side of like being an NFL kicker, blah blah blah. But today, and I've talked about this before as well, but I'm going to talk about 3 proactive wellness. I'm wearing supporting their shirt today, and I want to talk about proactive wellness supplements from a company called 3 International. I've been involved with this company for since it was about a month old, and it's about about 2.5 years old almost. Okay, so I've been involved since they were very, very new in the beginning, and I definitely want to know, what I'm putting in my body. I've been active in kind of my search for, things supplements that I can take that will better my body, that actually work. And that's my point in saying all I'm referring to really is the fact that I've tried a lot of stuff and I never really felt much different. So I know that, but you're going to learn a little bit about the science and technology behind what's in our products that actually make them work. Because ultimately, what a lot of people don't understand is they're probably wasting a lot of money on supplements they're buying from, more or less from, Costco and all these grocery stores, anywhere you're getting them over the counter for cheap. If you're not spending a lot of money on your vitamins and your supplements that you're taking on a daily basis, you're probably not getting a lot of value from them. It has a lot to do with absorption. Quality is there as well. They're going to claim they're great quality and all this, but I know that multivitamins have been made synthetically for a very long time. Not all of them, of course. Ours are not. Ours are from plant material. So, of course, there's a lot of products out there in the marketplace right now that aren't even real, and that is scary. They're close to being like the vitamins are very close as far as structure, but they're not perfect. And the body sometimes will not recognize them. And that's actually caused issues with people in the past when they're consuming products that aren't exactly natural, and they're synthetically made, but and they're not exactly perfect for our body. Our body's very, very smart. It knows what's foreign and what's not. Okay, so you're going to hear a little quick blurb from a word from our sponsor, 3 International. So when we get back from this, we'll go right into a slide presentation. I'm going to make it real quick. I don't want to bore you to death. There's going to be some leadership stuff there, our CEO and our chief scientific officer, some things about the company, but I'm going to spend a little bit more time on the individual products themselves, so you kind of have an idea of why they work so well and what's in them, of course. So after a word from our sponsor real quick, we'll be right back with the slideshow.
At 3, we want to give you the true health benefits that you're paying for, something you can feel and see a difference quickly. Each product is packed with powerful plant-based nutrients that are combined through a proprietary curation process and then infused with innovative cellular absorption technologies to ensure the nutrients absorb into the cells for maximum wellness. The quality and effectiveness of our life-changing products is evident by their approval to be included in the well-known Prescriber's Digital Reference, or PDR. PDR has been a valuable resource to the medical doctors and providers in the healthcare community for decades. Our products are GMO-free, clinically studied, and third-party tested, all designed to support health and proactive wellness for everyone.
Welcome back. You saw a little bit about the products and the company, and if you've been on the episodes before, you've seen this commercial before, real quick. Of course, you saw some things about the PDR, saw some things about the products. Of course, I'm going to go a lot more detail in this slide presentation. So I'll get going without further ado. Our company, like how can we serve you? We are involved in health. We're going to give you your health back. We're going to give you time and freedom back financially. We have a very strong community of like-minded people that are involved with us as well. Our company is based on people, purpose, and platform. We need people, obviously, in this industry to share the information and the products as well. Purpose is to get people healthy and get them aware and more knowledgeable on what it is they're actually consuming. We have a platform to do so, and so it's a very awesome opportunity to make some a little extra income as well. Or a lot of extra income, whichever you want, depending on how well you work it and what you want to do. Our company is founded by Daniel PQ, who's our CEO and founder. Incredible man. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He grew up in a boys' home actually, and never really had a chance, but he made himself a chance. Every dime he's worth today, he's earned on his own, and he's worth a lot of dimes. Okay, Dan Gubler is our chief scientific officer. Studied at Caltech, incredibly smart guy. He's been in the lab since he was as a young teenager. Even before then, his grandfather he taught at BYU, and Dan Gubler goes around the country and the world really, and speaks to people about health and nutrition. He's a scientist, right? So he's got a PhD in organic chemistry from Colorado State. He's a social influencer. I know he's up to about 180,000 followers on TikTok and Instagram as well. Very knowledgeable man. I highly recommend following Dan Gubler. Dr. Dan, he goes by, Dr. Dan Gubler. Our scientific advisory board. It's funny because these people are not paid. It's all voluntary. Okay, all voluntarily. And the funny thing is, also on top of that, is that I personally know two of these people. But it was before I got involved in the company. Timothy Schneider, who's our chairman, I coached his son at flag football after I retired from the NFL. His son and my son were on the same football team. So when I saw a presentation much like this, when I first saw this information, I saw his name up there in his picture. And I'm like, wow, I know him. And then Dr. Charles Green is another guy here locally in Jacksonville. And Dr. Catherine Medaffery, which is the next one over, she's actually in Jacksonville as well. So those three I just mentioned are in Jacksonville. I don't know Catherine, but Dr. Green was at the first presentation that I was at. So we actually enrolled into the company at the same exact time. Since then, he's been asked to be on the board of advisors, advisory board, of course, and he's accepted. So an incredible, you can see their PhD, John Hopkins, Mayo Clinic studied and certified people, of course. So our science and technology, we deal with exploration. We are actually considered a research and development company as well, because we do a lot of research. There's over 600,000 species of plants on planet Earth, as we know, and we've only studied about 5% of the medicinal values of those plants. So we still have a lot of studies to do, discovering molecules, discovering different things in phytonutrients that have never been discovered before. Curation was when you throw all those ingredients together in a way that they work very good synergistically. And that's what Dr. Dan is incredibly good at. He puts the ingredients together that work together and work really well for each specific targeted goal for each specific product. Absorption. This is where we separate ourselves from the whole rest of the world. And I say world because there's no other company in the world that's doing what we're doing. We have literally 12 different cellular absorption delivery technologies that we have added to our products. So basically, it means our products are absorbing at a much greater rate than any of the products on the marketplace. You're going to get a 10 to 15% absorption. We'll call it bioavailability. With our products, it's up to 95%. Now, they're not all 95% absorption. Some are around 30. But the one that's 30 is typically like one that's at 10% absorption rate. So it's still three times greater absorption rate. And I'll get into that in a minute. So just know there's an old adage, we are what we eat. It's not necessarily true. I think it's more like we are what we absorb, because a lot of the foods and supplements particularly, especially the ones that are synthetically made that don't have any cellular absorption technologies to them, flush right through us. That's why if you take a strong multivitamin, actually what you thought was a strong multivitamin, you go to the bathroom a couple hours later, see how bright yellow the toilet water is. You're like, man, that's a strong vitamin. Actually, no, it's not. It's a very weak vitamin because you're looking at it. It's in the toilet. Okay, so understand, and our products don't do that. Okay, understand that you're flushing a lot of products. Okay, and you're wasting your money. Okay, we call it expensive urine. Funny joke. Okay, so the future of wellness, and this is kind of what I was talking about before. We are what we absorb, and this is kind of the absorption tech, the study that we did, the clinical study that we did on absorption or bioavailability. You see the 6 proactive wellness products there. We actually have 10 products total. The other 4 are skincare products. But these are the basic foundation for homeostasis. These 6, when you take them all together in the same day, which I've been since I've been involved in the company. When a month of March 20th of March 24th of 2023 is when I joined the company. Okay, I've taken all of the products every single day since then. Okay, I've not missed a day. Okay. So you can understand why we're different. We talked about the absorption. I just mentioned that a second ago. We actually have a medicinal research plant center in the northern jungles of Thailand. Okay, we do a lot of our studies there in the northern jungles of Thailand, where the soil is incredibly rich. We grow a lot of our plant material there because, again, the soil is very rich in minerals and vitamins and everything. The nutritional value of the soil is untouched. Okay, and then also the climate is incredibly well for the plants that we're growing out there as well. So a very cool thing there. I'm kind of going fast. I do apologize. I want to get to the products. I don't want to spend too much time on this stuff here, but we have a lot of third-party clinical studies we've done. Cellular absorption studies, obviously, the epigenetic study, I'll get into that in a minute, and the superoxide study. It has a lot to do with inflammation in the body, and I'll explain a little bit about those. The epigenetics study is incredibly important because if you understand what epigenetics is, it's the up and down regulation of certain genes in our bodies. We studied 8 genes. You can see them on the screen there. 8 certain genes. 2 of those genes, 2 of the 8, are inflammatory genes, the IL-6 and the NFKB. Okay, those are 2 very, very powerful inflammatory genes. Well, guess what? You see, well, you can't, maybe if you can see this very, very fine print, but I can promise you 3 of those 4 products there that were studied, epigenetic studies, 3 of them downregulated both of those genes quite substantially. Okay, so the Eternel, which actually is the bottom right one there, it's a purple sachet. That one there is an antioxidant product, and that actually downregulates the IL-6 gene I just mentioned 1,250%. So it's incredibly strong with that. So you would understand, like, the homeostasis is when your genes are operating optimally, right? Think of diabetics. Think about GLP-1. You've heard of that shot recently. There's a lot of big craze about GLP-1s. What that really is, GLP-1 is a gene, really. And what happens is, if that GLP-1 gene, which is responsible for blood sugar levels and insulin levels in the body, if it is all out of whack and not regulating properly, your body's not going to regulate blood sugar levels and insulin levels very well. Well, our products have shown that upregulates that GLP-1 gene. And so we've actually had people that have been a part of our company and taking the products that are diabetic, and they're getting off of their medication. I'm not saying about all of their medication, but a few bits and pieces of the medication. I'm not saying it's curing diabetes by any means. I can't say that, but my point is really that they're actually seeing results in a way that the medications aren't. These products are actually doing what their medications are supposed to be doing as well. But again, these are plant material. It's all natural. Okay, so it's a big difference. They're using pharmaceutical stuff, and now they're ingesting and consuming these all natural plant-based products that are actually regulating their insulin levels and their blood sugar levels very, very well. Okay, that was just a couple examples. Our science technology with regards to our products and being recognized in the PDR, which is it used to be called the Physician's Desk Reference Guide. Now it's called the Prescriber's Digital Reference Guide. If you are a doctor, you know exactly what the PDR is, because every doctor in the world knows what this is. This is basically a guide that's done all the vetting for any products and really pharmaceutical prescription type of drugs. That's what that book was, or the guide was actually created for. I think it was back in the late 40s, 1940s, when they actually created this guide, and it did all the vetting for the doctors, so they didn't have to spend time, trying to figure out whether these products were going to hurt their patients or not, or help their patients or not, or what the side effects were, what not. So, but I want you to understand something. 3 International provides proactive wellness products that are nutraceuticals. Okay, based on the basically plant-based products, but being in the PDR, they're automatically, for the most part, listed and classified as medicinal. And these are again, I refer to these as remedies. Back in the day, before we had pharmacies and pharmaceutical drugs, we'd use these remedies that, your grandmother and great grandparents would come up with. They'd combine a few things together and it would fix your headache or your upset stomach or whatever the case may be. And of course, also other major diseases as well. But my point is that we used to heal the body with plant material. I think we're getting back to that. I sure hope we are, because there's a lot of bad things involved in the pharmaceutical industry because of all side effects. It's a revolving door when it comes to, it's a never ending cycle when it comes to getting involved in prescription drugs. You take a pill for this, next thing you know, you take another pill for that, the side effect from the original pill, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Okay, now getting specifically into the products. This is our Vitalite. Okay, this is our multivitamin. It has a omega-3 gel cap in it, plus 4 capsules, and you could literally live on a deserted island. It has if you didn't have food or whatever, you could live for a good long time with just taking this, because it has everything your body needs. The ingredients: superfood blend, obviously, natural derived vitamins and minerals, enzyme blend, omega-3 gel cap I mentioned before, 72 trace minerals and amino acids, probiotics, prebiotics, and a berry blend, of course. So it's a very, very powerful of supplement, as far as a multivitamin supplement. And again, don't forget, these are made from plants. Okay, there's nothing else in there that has to do with any pharmaceuticals. So these are plant material, plus they have the cellular absorption technologies that are added to them that make them work. Okay, that actually make them absorb, and you're going to feel a difference. People talk about higher energy with the Vitality. I talk about less brain fog, like you can think better. I've noticed my sleep was a little bit better. I think it was again, I've taken all of them from day one, so I don't know which products is specifically doing what. But I noticed I slept better. I noticed a lot of good things, and the inflammation is one of the big ones that I'm going to talk about, definitely. But for a lot of people, we have a thread that is involved with a lot of people that are on in our company already, and they're just sharing information and their testimonies on all these products because of how good they're feeling. And they're not trying to sell anything to anybody, because they know that all of us on the thread are already taking the products. So, but they're just sharing these great, testimonies on what the products have done, not only for them, but for their family and others that they've shared with as well. Okay, our Immune. It's actually called Immune A. These are all French names. This is the Immune right here. I take these on a daily basis. And again, I'm pretty healthy to begin with. But I like to say that this has kept me healthier. I've not been as sick. I noticed there's been times where I started to feel a little stuffy, and I'll double up, sometimes triple up on the Immune. And before you know it, 2 days later, I feel normal again. And so it basically cut it off. And so our Immune A actually has a technology in there called quorum sensing. You can read some of that stuff. 80% of your immune is in your gut. And so with regards to the quorum sensing is really it's a technology, really, to be honest with you. And what it is, a quorum sensing inhibition, to be technical. Quorum sensing is the communication between bad bacteria. Okay, when they communicate, they get bigger, stronger, more effective, right? Well, if you cut off the communication with the bad bacteria, that's the inhibition part. So quorum sensing inhibition, communication inhibition. When you cut that off, bad bacteria can't thrive. They can't get bigger, stronger, more effective. And so they basically dissipate. And then the good bacteria in your gut kind of fills the void of the bad bacteria that's now gone because of this quorum sensing technology. It's a really cool thing. And there's everything you can imagine, like during COVID, that people were buying, all the things that we're buying, the zincs and everything that you can think of that people were buying, for the most part, natural stuff, not the ivermectins and things like that. But that's in a lot of the stuff that I mentioned with the plant material stuff will be in, and the vitamins and minerals and things like that will be in this Immune A as well. Eternel is one I was talking about before that downregulated the IL-6 gene 1,250%. This is our antioxidant, which gets rid of free radicals. You can read there a little bit. It protects the cells from damage. It's basically a youthfulness. It keeps your heart strong and youthful. Very tasty. It tastes like an acai drink. And of course, there's a lot of blends, like a superfruit blends in there as well. It has resveratrol, which you've probably, and if you've heard of, if you've heard of the doctors where they say you'll have a glass of red wine every day to keep your heart strong and you youthful, they're really referring to the resveratrol that's in the wine. And it comes from the seeds of the grapes that are in, obviously the wine's made from. But the problem is you'd have to drink about 7 bottles of wine to get the equivalent resveratrol that's in our packet. There's 200 milligrams of resveratrol in each packet. You'd have to drink about 7 bottles of wine to get that equivalent value. So I highly recommend not. Take the Eternel instead. Glutathione. If you've heard of glutathione, usually it's done intravenously, intramuscularly. Very difficult molecule to absorb, but we have it. It's glutathione that's in there. We have the technology to break it down and shrink the molecule and cut it. And enzyme micronization is really what the technical term is for it. But my point is that the glutathione this is the one that's 95% absorption rate. So we're getting glutathione in our system. We're getting the resveratrol in our system and the CoQ10 as well. It also has a little bit of marine collagen in there as well. The next one was our Purify, which is detox. And I don't know how you guys feel about detox, but I think I'm learning more and more and more every single day that we are toxic, and we're getting more toxic because we just live in an environment that we can't avoid toxins in our food, in our water, in the air. It's everywhere. And so we definitely need to detox. And when people think about detox, they think about starving themselves and taking these teas that make you, go to the bathroom a lot and you're flushing and just nasty. Like you have to spend the whole day in the house because you got to run to the bathroom every 10 minutes. This is not like that. This is a very mild detox. It's 1 pill a day. I take mine at night because that's when your body's detoxing anyways. And if you've never done a detox before and you were toxic, if you had toxins in your body, one of the side effects for detoxing is not pleasant. There's a few that are not pleasant. You're going to get a runny nose. You're going to be a little slight headache. You might feel like a little nauseous. So there's a lot of side effects to detoxing. Now, again, if you are, that's another reason why we take them at night, because you wouldn't feel those side effects if you were sleeping through them. But for the most part, those are good things because you understand that your body's flushing a lot of toxins from the system. So you can see a lot of the ingredients in there. Of course, a lot of these things I've never heard of before. Milk thistle I have before, but kelp and apple pectin I have before. The chlorophyllin capsule, that's the material in plants that makes the capsules green. But if plants don't have chlorophyllin in them, the sun would destroy them. So they're basically like a sunscreen for plants, but they're very good at grabbing toxins and pulling them out of our system. So that's another cool thing that's in the actual capsule itself. Now, Revive. This is our Renew and Recovery. I like to think of it as an anti-inflammatory. This product plus the epigenetics and maybe the superoxide third-party study that we did and the effects of that. And actually, it's from this product as well, the superoxide study was. But this product alone plus the epigenetics, I believe in wholeheartedly, they've taken me off of Advil. I used to take Advil. I had 4 back surgeries during my NFL career. I used to take Advil like it was candy during the times I was playing. For whatever reason, Advil was the only thing that really worked for me to decrease the inflammation in my body. But ever since around March 30th is when I got all my products. And since I've taken them, I have not touched an Advil since. Okay. I don't take Advil anymore. And I did take quite a bit even after I played football. My kicking academy, I'm on my feet, I'm demonstrating. So there's a lot of things that I'm doing in that as well. So just understand that I don't take Advil anymore. I'm taking an all natural plant-based product that's decreasing the inflammation in my body. I'm not taking a pharmaceutical. I'm not taking the Advil's over the counter. It's not necessarily a pharmaceutical, but it's chemically derived. There's a lot of chemicals and junk in there. You understand that Advil is not good for you, I'm pretty sure. I know my liver is very thankful that I don't take that junk anymore. I'm taking this now as well. Key ingredients, obviously curcumin, which is a very difficult molecule to absorb. Boswellia, black cumin oil, all these shiitake mushroom extract, grapeseed extract, sea buckthorn fruit oil, pepperine and menthol. Menthol and pepperine are the other things that kind of add absorption. And you might see products out there. So we use liposomal, which is actually a public, cellular delivery, absorption delivery technology that's open for public. Enzyme micronization is the other one. So there's 2 that are out that I know of. They're open for public use. But remember, I told you we use 12. Okay, so 10 of those 12 are exclusive to our company, right? So we're adding more technologies to get these kind of products actually more bioavailability and get into our system. Pepperine and menthol, my point was that they bragged that they use liposomal and pepperine and menthol to add absorption, which you will, but we have others that actually make it more absorbable. Okay. If you guys remember the name Tony Mandrich, he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated a couple times, I'm sure. He was a second pick overall in a 1989 draft. He is taking our supplements. This is an actual testimony from him that I got from that thread I keep telling you about. Okay. I pulled it straight off from that thread. This is him telling us about how he does these shoulder workouts and how painful they are the next day always. And he says he hardly feels any pain at all. And he talks about legs, of course, and he'll let us know later on. Not sure if he did, but I can promise you, guys like that are former NFL guys that are constantly lifting, working out still at that age. They experience a lot of inflammation and pain, of course. So Tony Mandrich says that he's not feeling much pain from the products anymore because of obviously the absorption and the production working. Okay, collagen, as the French name would say. This is another liquid that we have two liquid sachets. And the first one was Eternel. This collagen is very tasty. Another one is really tasty. I keep both the sachets in the fridge, and they taste really, really well when they're chilled. So this collagen is unique, okay? Because we also have another technology that's in this collagen called it's pomegranate juice concentrate, but the technology is really in the puny collagens. There's a molecule called puny collagens that's a phytonutrient extract from the pomegranate plant that actually teaches your body how to turn back on. So after the age of 30 or so, we start to lose the collagen production in our bodies. It slowly starts to dissipate and kind of slow down the production of collagen. That's why we get a little saggy and wrinkly, because our collagen production is starting to slow down. Okay, so what the puny collagen does is it actually reteaches our own body's natural collagen production factories, we'll say, to turn back on and actually start producing our own natural produced collagen. Okay, and if you guys, especially the women out there, about taking collagen, if you've taken powder collagen, if you've taken the bromine collagen, the collagen that doesn't taste well, collagen you have to put in something to stir up, those don't work. They do not work at all. They don't absorb because collagen is a very, very large molecule. They don't. Again, the taste is horrible. And also the powder. If every time you open up that jar of powder collagen, you're oxidating the collagen even more, which makes it even less effective. Okay, this is in a liquid. I keep forgetting to show you guys. I've got them all set here, so I can show you guys later on after I'm done. I've got them all lined up right here, every single one of my products. Okay, so just understand the reason why I mentioned the pomegranate or the puny collagens and the collagen is because these collagen, they're cycles. So basically, it's a cycle product, meaning you only take 10 a month. You take 10 days in a row. I do it the first 10 days of each month. And then you don't take any more for the next 20 days because during that 20-day period, your body's kind of relearning how to recreate its own natural collagen production. Okay, our Visage collection. I'm going to kind of fly through this a little bit because I want to get into a little bit more detail about some business opportunities. I'm going to fly through that as well. But just understand our collagen collection. We have literally the world's first true, and I say true because there's neurocosmetics that have been labeled as neurocosmetics, but they're not really neurocosmetics. In other words, what we've discovered, scientists have known this for about 10 years now, that there's actually a skin-brain connection. So we can put something on our skin that actually affects our brain in a good way. This is what the Visage does. Now, the Visage is one of those four. I'll get into that in a second here, but just understand it helps release serotonin and dopamine in your body. It actually increases NAD plus production in your body as well. And this is a skincare product. And by the way, the PDR, all 6 of our proactive wellness, all the ones I just went over, they're in that book. They're in the guide, okay? Even the collagen is in the guide. And then again, labeled as medicinally. Visage, the one of the 4, the super serum, that one's in the PDR as well. It's a skincare product, but it's medicinal, okay? It helps you, okay? So in other words, to fast forward here a little bit, the Pure Cleanse, the first thing you put on, that's it's going to kind of prepare your skin for the actual, clean your skin, obviously with natural plant products as well. Very, very good product and again, I've never really used skincare products until now, but I love them. I've kind of become addicted. I want to do it every single time I get out of the shower. Okay. So I wash my face in the shower with the the cleanser, the pure cleanse. Okay, then I hit the radiant toner. So I spray a little mist of the toner. That's what really prepares the visage. It opens up the pores in your skin, and it says, okay, I'm ready to accept this new stuff that you're going to throw on there as well. And so you can see some of the things. I can't pronounce a couple of those names in there. There's a lot of different ingredients in the visage, but this is the one that's in the PDR. This is the one that actually releases serotonin and dopamine in your brain. Makes you feel good. It's like a feel good thing. Okay. Okay, the key benefits of the, I'm sorry, this is still on the toner. I'm sorry. So going to the visage. Now, this is the visage super serum. This is the one I'm referring to that releases the serotonin and dopamine in your body. I'll go through this really quickly. You can see a lot of the ingredients in there. These are all things that are plant material, patchouli, a lot. I'm not even going to try to pronounce them, but there's a lot of really, really healthy plant material in there as well. The cream caviar. Now, this one has a molecule that's never been discovered before. Okay, Dan Gubler is the only one that's he's got it going through a patent right now. Matter of fact, the true serum, the super serum, the Visage super serum, the one I just went over, that one is actually going through patent testing as well right now. So it's going through a patent right now, and hopefully that'll get passed, and obviously it'll be patented, right? So this is the final stage of a skincare line is our cream caviar. This has a new molecule that's never been discovered before in it as well. That's been studying, they studied it about 10 years before they could put it in the products, of course. So it's in there as well. And I don't remember what he's actually called it. I don't even know if he's actually named it yet. Okay. Very, very good product. So getting into the kind of nutshell, these are like a kind of a visual picture of what's in our products. You can see the 6 there, not the skincare line, of course. The 6 productive wellness products. Actually, the Visage is in there as well in the middle there. But you can see a lot of plant material. There's fish material in there. Obviously the salmon for the omega-3 gel cap, plus the collagen that I mentioned before, the collagen. That has the same. They use the same fish that we get from the Scandinavian, Norwegian area, and it's a type 1 collagen from fish that's in that product as well. So this is what's not in these products, okay? No artificial flavors, colors. You guys can read that here. SLS-free, nut-free, gluten-free, dairy-free, additive-free, eco-friendly, no animal testing. That was apparently a big deal for a lot of people. I didn't know that, but again, I understand why. I didn't realize it was such a big deal, but it is. It's super cool. So soy-free. So there's a lot of cool things. It checks all the mommy check boxes, make sure that you're not feeding your kids with harmful ingredients. Okay. This is kind of a comparison. You can think of all the things in your cabinet. Now, what we always like to talk about is we like to consolidate. So we're consolidating all these products that you probably have in your shelf right now, maybe that don't absorb very well. You're taking 100 of them a day. I'm exaggerating a little bit, maybe, I don't know. But you can see how the price differences are much different with regards to what you can find out there if you buy them individually and you consolidate with them. And of course, they're much better as far as the plant material and the quality of them, plus the absorption, the delivery technologies that we add to them. Adds a huge deal, okay? We are in 15 countries. That's a big deal. We opened in 14. We're actually in another one now. Vietnam, I can't remember the last one we added. Our next phase is going to be in the European phase. So we're growing. We have 100 more countries on the list to go. Okay, so we're definitely growing as a company. Again, we're only 2.5 years old, right? We were highly ranked AAA plus rating from an organization called Business for Home. That's a very big deal. We are also the youngest and this was in 2023. 34 of the 823 companies that this company evaluated, 34 of them were given AAA plus ratings. We were one of those 34 plus. We were the youngest of those 34. Okay, so we're doing great things in the world, really, honestly. And so this is a very reputable organization too, by the way. They do a lot of detailed due diligence on their evaluation. Okay, who's joining us? Business owners, pharmaceutical reps, which is a big deal. Medical professionals, a huge deal. Former NFL players, cheerleaders, and coaches. You can read the list. There's a lot of people that you think like, well, a lot of people in different walks of life are joining our company, not just for the products, but they're also sharing it. And I've noticed that sometimes they just join it just to try the products. Next thing you know, they're starting to share it because they've experienced good things from the product. So they kind of were by default, they're kind of starting to share the products and then earning some income from it. But some people go right in full board on the business side of it, which a lot of us are. But again, you're getting great quality products, and you're earning by sharing them to people. I added this slide in here. This is actually our NFL's HRA account that I have access to. Okay, this is a screenshot from my back office of Cigna. Okay, in the NFL HRA account. My point in this, you can see there that my products, now I get Revive. I get 2 bottles of Revive every single month because that's my anti-inflammatory. That letter on the right there is a doctor's letter that basically is saying that I need this product for inflammation purposes, and Cigna obviously needs that. So it's basically like a prescription for a nutraceutical product. Basically, is that what that diagnosis letter is really referring to. But you can see that Cigna has been, and I've gone 10 months now, 9 months now of reimbursement, full reimbursement for the products. Okay. 4 phases of growth, talking about formulation, concentration, momentum, and stability. We're down by that yellow star there. Okay. We are very, very young in this industry right now. Okay. If you know anything about the direct sales market, you'll understand that when you get in early, the market share is wide open. Okay. Your potential of earning a lot of money is big because of the market share. You have a lot of people to talk to that haven't heard about this before. And again, the products are working. They're working for a lot of people, changing lives. Okay, so it's a very, very good opportunity to get involved. Financial rewards, I will not go over all these. The team commissions and the leadership matching bonus are the 2 biggest ones that you're going to find if you join us. Team cycles, which is the team commission I kind of referring to. You can see kind of the annual incomes from 1 cycle all the way down to 500 cycles per week. There are people that are cycling hundreds of times per week. Look at the 100, just right now, that's $234,000 annually. Okay. Now it takes some time to develop that, but again, once you put the work in and you get people on board and you help them do that as well, you're going to start seeing a lot of income coming in. The company is awesome because they always offer incentive trips. I have earned, and I've been involved in some of these companies before, never earned an incentive trip. This company, I've earned every single one of them they've offered so far. Okay. I am going to Vietnam in August. I earned that one. I'm going to go to Vietnam we're doing it for 3 weeks. But going over there and just an awesome trip. It's paid, all inclusive. We're going to stay at a nice little resort there in Vietnam and do a lot of things while we're there as well in the country. So super, super cool, awesome opportunity. Turnkey business system. That's the other thing too people are kind of afraid of. And that's really where, when I got involved in these before, I was kind of thrown in the fire like, oh, Mike, you're an NFL player. You good at this. And I was like, yeah. And I felt like I had to do a lot of work and, throwing up on a lot of people as far as information, not literally throwing up a ton of information on people. And that was great. I thought it was great. But people would say, well, Mike, that presentation was awesome, but I can't do what you just did there. I'm not going to spend the time to learn everything. And I'm like, no, you don't have to, because we as leaders in the company, we do that for you. I've done presentations many, many times here locally in Jacksonville and all over the country, really. Spokane, Washington, when I go back home, and in Idaho, somewhere up there, I do some presentations in Houston. I've got a team in Houston, Texas. I do presentations over there. I've done them in Destin, Florida. So I do them all over the place, right? So this turnkey business system will kind of make you understand that it's not just you. We are here to help you. All you have to do is literally, introduce this to people without sharing too much information, because that's what we're supposed to do. And so it makes it really simple for people to share this. Speaking of the doctors a while ago, we have over 2,000 doctors that are part of our program. Now, they may not be really in depth with the referral part of it, but we have provided a provider program. I was actually part of the technical part of that, creating that program, and it's really designed to streamline any sales that the doctors want to make from their clinic or recommend their patients to order for themselves online. So it's a very simple thing to do. We've provided a really streamlined, super simple program to follow for doctors that makes it very easy for them instead of having to deal with another job. And doctors don't want another job. Plus, a lot of them really aren't really that interested in direct sales, which is fine. Okay, this makes it look like it's not a direct sales. Even though we are direct sales, we're network marketing, but when the patients are ordering the product, it doesn't seem, and again, they're not trying to sell it as something like, oh, it's a direct, you should try it, you should refer it. It's not a business for them. They don't want to do it. They just want to provide the products for the patients. Okay. And we've provided an awesome opportunity. So 2 ways to get involved: be a retail customer or become a brand ambassador. I tell people to become a brand ambassador because really all it is a $30 fee annually. You get charged $30 a year to have wholesale prices, access to wholesale prices, plus the opportunity to earn money if you share it. You get a back office. It's your own system. It's your own business, essentially. So that's what I've done. I started 2 years ago doing this as a brand ambassador. I came at the highest package. I got a ton of product. And it actually came with a global revenue share, which is super cool too. So I'll always get a share of the global revenue that comes into the company every single week. Okay, so I was fortunate back then. They don't have those offered anymore, but still some great opportunity to make some money. Okay, so again, that's the whole opportunity. I know I really rambled through that. I went really fast. I do apologize. I wanted to squeeze a lot of information in a short period of time, but definitely zealouswellness.com. I've been working on that website. I've got another company I'm working with as well called Premier Life, and that's dealing with the GLP-1 shots and the D+ shots. You got the peptides, a lot of peptides. We have IV drips and a lot of things that you've probably seen and had access to before. Our rates are really good. We have a great community of doctors that are involved with us in right now 4 different states, and we're actually growing into multiple states around the country as well. But also on zealouswellness.com, you'll see a lot more information on 3. And I'd love to hear from you. There's a little contact form there that you can fill out and just say that I referred you to the site. And then from that point on, I'll get you on a call. We'll get you set up and give you all the information we possibly can about 3 International. And we'll go from there. So I definitely talked very fast and gave you a lot of information, probably overwhelmed you a little bit. But if you're intrigued at all, knowing that there are actual proactive wellness supplements that work, and the proof is in the pudding with regards to having these in the PDR. I can't emphasize that enough. People kind of overlook like, yeah, it's kind of cool. No, it's a really cool thing. Okay, if these things are nutritional, nutraceutical products that are labeled basically as medicinally, okay, and they're in this guide, doctors can prescribe them or recommend them because they're not, you don't need a prescription for these products because they're natural plant products, right? There's nothing in them that is pharmaceutical that you need a prescription for, okay? So these are basically food that is the material is grown in different parts of the world and in climates that are really good, and the soil is really rich in nutrients. And you can if you do any research on our produce even today, I know that there was an article not too long ago I read that said that you have to eat the equivalent of, you have to eat 18 apples today from our produce. Any apples you get at the grocery store, you need 18 of them to get the nutritional value of only one of them that was grown back in 1980. Okay, that's a big deal. Like you can clearly see that our nutritional value of our even our produce is taking a back seat. Okay, so we need supplementation because of that. Perfect example. So with regards to needing the supplementation, because we're not getting a lot of the nutrients and phytonutrients and good molecules in our bodies, we need something like 3. We need something that actually works, that our bodies are actually absorbing, that we're making a difference in our health, making us feel better, look better. And again, your mentality changes. I promise you, there's a lot of good things around, and this company is super cool. A lot of very excited people about, because again, the products are working, they're changing lives. And then people are excited about not only their own lives being changed, but the people that they recommend and refer to 3 and maybe get on as business partners in 3, those lives are being changed as well. Okay, so with that said, I hope you weren't too overwhelmed. And again, if you want more information, go to zealouswellness.com. Go through the information there. There's some information. There's a detailed product guide on there as well. But if you want to talk to me and get more information specifically, fill out that contact form, and I will get back with you within 24 hours, okay? So with that said, I hope you guys have an awesome Monday night, and we'll see you again next Monday night for another episode of Zealous Wellness with Mike Hollis. Take care.
Thank you for watching Zealous Wellness with Mike Hollis. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you next time.